if an OG, for those who do not know, original gangster, couldn't say what the shit is.
Haven't
Couldn't do it.
heard
So if
that
an
term
Yeah,
OG
you
punked
just
used.
say
you,
OG. You leave it as OG.
if an OG punked you, would you fight back, even though you could risk an entire hood coming after you and your family?
Wait, let me give you the context first. Let me give you the
All right,
context.
give me the rundown of why you
Actually,
think
no.
this.
First, give your because I don't want to influence what you guys. So
Okay,
first,
so
each of
all
you
right,
answer
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
hypothetical.
So honestly, if some like, what does punked mean in this situation? I gotta know that.
I got some
Right.
questions. Yeah, some follow up questions too.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
yeah, go
say it
ahead.
because I wanted us to specify it within the conversation.
Okay,
So
well, let me to not further influence. If I got punked, say it's me getting beat up, I'll
yeah,
take that out. I'll take that out.
you
Cause
just
like if
take
it's
it,
like a known gang member, I
hmm
know he has like guns and
and not
knives
just a
and
known gang member, like a
yeah,
well-known
yeah, yeah,
gang member,
like
like
that's
respected
that
one.
guy that your mama told you not to talk to. Like
Yeah,
stay away from. Yeah, if I got beat up, I'm taking that L. I might not even tell my mama because I know my mom will definitely, she gonna want to press charges or some shit. Like, gonna have to take that to the grave, cause I'm not risking, I'm not risking my family's life over a fight. Like, I'm not doing that. If he played me, robbed me any which way, there's there's very few situations in which I retaliate if it's like a known gang member, you know, because I don't even believe in gangs. I think
What
they're
you mean you don't believe in them?
that's
They
I'll
exist?
explain that later. EJ, you
Yeah.
go. I'll explain
It's,
that
it's like
later.
nah, if you want to say you don't believe in the loyalty of them, you know, or
No, go
what they
explain.
represent, but they exist, they're out there. Then that's a
no,
good
they don't
enough
exist.
opinion.
They're
Nah,
fictional.
go explain your
It's like people that say, I don't believe in wearing shoes. Like, okay, they're still out there, they exist. Whether or not you
I will
partake in them.
explain, but go give your opinion on this
All
hypothetical.
right. I had a question that kind of like will basically form my opinion on it, which is, does the person that is like this OG in the situation, do you know that like beforehand that that's who you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
into an
no,
altercation with?
you know who they are. Like you know
You
exactly
know
who they
their
are.
status and all that?
They're an
Yes,
OG.
like you.
You gotta know an
Yeah,
OG.
Okay.
You can't be an OG if you're not known. You know.
So I figured if I got punked by them, like there would be numerous people around that saw this, right? Because getting punked is not like it has more of a weight to it when it's not just okay, like you got
yeah,
punked because they did something
yeah.
to you,
That would
but
be a
also
tough one. A
because they
couple of
were,
people saw it at least. Yeah,
yeah, okay. Um, yeah, that's tough. I think because of the status, yeah, I might have to take the L on that one because it's like if you were to retaliate and come out on top from that, it doesn't end there, and that's the issue. Like even if I get payback, chances are with somebody of his status, he's gonna feel offended and embarrassed, and it'll get to a point where it's a life or death situation where next thing you know, it's no longer hands. I'm fearing for my life because every time they see me, it's probably gonna be bullets flying my way. It's probably gonna be I don't know, with somebody of that status, uh, they have a different way of handling the situation, especially where they were embarrassed. So nah, I don't think there's any way to, at least from my end, to come out on top or win. And so because of that, I would have to respectfully back out and just say, all right, I take the loss on it, and that's what I would do.
Vanguard, what's
yeah.
your
I mean, you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head. Where it's like same. It's like if I knew exactly who they were, like I know everything about them. I know their stats.
Yeah.
I know who they know. I know all that shit. I'm just gonna take the L. Like it would. I'm not gonna lie. It would cross my mind to do something, especially if I could take him. Like if I looked at them and I could take him. Right. I'm just like I could take him.
It's
But
not even
then
if you could be in, yeah. It's like
exactly.
it's the other
Yeah.
consequences, It's like, all right, he
Yeah.
lost
Jesus.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus will put his hand on my shoulder like, you can take him, but he can take you too. You can take him, but he can take you out.
See, yeah, that's kind of the thing. When I said I didn't believe in gangs, I just mean like I don't believe in the idea of like they're perceived like, oh, it's about brotherhood and protecting the streets and this. I don't believe that shit. I believe it's a
Oh
bunch
hell
of
yeah,
pussies
yeah.
like hanging out
Part.
together. I'm not gonna let me stop before some gangs start knocking on my doorstep.
I mean, another thing. There are people who believe that other entities in this country are essentially gangs, the same as the
Yeah,
gangs.
true. I do believe that, but I just like I believe like because like the issue here is right. If an OG punked me, like I cannot fight back because it's not me. It's not me versus him. It's me versus
Yeah,
everyone he knows.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's some bitch shit because it's like he's doing some very disrespectful shit probably, and there's nothing I can do because if I retaliate and like I could I like don't want the disrespect, it's me versus an army now, and I gotta like
on
put
top of that, if you,
my parents' lives on the line, my brother's lives on the line,
Mm.
yeah,
because this one guy decided to just put a hit on me because I didn't let him
Well, let
disrespect me.
me tell you guys the story that this person told me that inspired me. Right? They said when they were younger, they 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 were doing some. We're just gonna assume they were doing some illicit activities, right? Um,
They were loitering.
and they had these guys that worked under them, right? And one day these guys went to like what would be the equivalent of an OG, but this guy was like a real OG, like an old guy, right? And they went saying that, oh, my guy, he's like the guy we work for is like the toughest guy. He's strong. He runs everything around. Like they were bragging about the guys. And like, oh, any one thing that happens, he's the one who says it's supposed to happen, right?
yeah,
Then the guy heard this, he listened, and then he went to go meet with the guy they were talking about. The guy that was telling me the story. He walked up to him. He said, "Are you this person?" Right? And the guy said, "Yeah." He was like, do you know these two guys? The guy said, yeah. And then the dude just punched him. The dude socked him and knocked him out, right? And, it's like he was telling me how it's like the guy was old, right? And sure, he's like, he could have taken him if he wanted to, right? He's like, because I'm young. He's like, and I'm strong. He was like, I could have taken the guy. But based on the guy's status and who he was, I had no choice but to just the next time I saw him, hold my head down and let him talk to me, because he told them, now you have to go fuck up the guys who were talking shit and teach them to never mention, because they were comparing the guy that they work for to the OG. He's like, and tell them to never put my name in their mouth again. And he went and did just that. He went and confronted the two guys. He didn't beat them up, but he confronted them. I was like, why the fuck did you guys do that? And they were crying because they were fucking terrified. They thought they were gonna lose their lives over this shit. Um,
yeah,
but he kind of like told them, nah, just like don't do that in the future, because like, he was like he had no choice. And then he went on even further. This relates to what we were just talking about, where he was like, even with the cops, he was like, there are certain things that you as a gang member couldn't do, or as a criminal in general couldn't do to the police, because like the police would know exactly where you guys are, but you and the police have an agreement. You get what I'm saying? Where there are boundaries that neither of you cross because it leads to an all-out war. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the same with the police. If you did something that pissed them off, now they're raiding all your places and killing your cousin and shit, and ugh. So
yeah.
it was very interesting when he told me about this. I was like, oh, interesting. I understood what he was talking about because I'd read a lot about shit like this, about gang wars and shit that started over things like this, where an OG or someone would say something to someone else and that person would get mad, and then boom, that person does something you shouldn't have done. Now you have two families again fighting against each other, littering the streets with bodies and blood.
And that's the main reason I don't fuck with gangs because
Yeah,
it's not your beef, it's our beef, and
yeah,
it doesn't need because like that's like I said, it's pussy shit. Like say EJ was talking smack to somebody. Like he's my homeboy, but that's your fight, bro. Like that's on you. Like
Well, it depends. It depends.
if
If
it's a
EJ
one
was
on
talking,
one, it's a one
if
on one
EJ was talking
situation.
smack
Like
to somebody and they tried to fight him, I would come up and be like, "Yeah, no, you're not fighting," like something like that,
I
oh,
and
respect
scare
that,
them
I'm saying
bro.
away.
like I'm not like if
Yeah.
like he started the scrap is what I'm saying. Like if they decided that
Oh,
they were gonna go to blows. They're like, all right, take your licks and like you gotta
Yeah,
fight that one out yourself. Like
but
yeah,
if
I
it
the
gets
get you.
guy
out of
was the guy
hand,
just wanted to like start fighting him for no reason. Like I don't believe in fighting over words, but
but I mean, also if the
I'd
fight
also be
starts to
like,
get
yeah,
out of
yo,
hand, then
chill.
one
But
of
like
us have to
I'm
step
not
in.
fighting him.
Oh no, it's
So
too
not
I'm fighting
fight,
late.
but
for you. You know,
pull them apart if the fight gets out of hand.
Yeah,
separating people. I don't consider that like in the type of interference I meant. Like I'm not fighting this battle for him. Like, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna
that's
like be like one of the soldiers. You know, I'm like yo.
but that's like if I started something that I was like definitely wrong for doing,
Yeah,
and then as a result, say the guy that I wronged in this situation wanted to jump me because I guess maybe he felt he couldn't take me one on one, or maybe he felt
I
it
was about
called
to
for
ask
getting
you that.
jumped. Nah, but I was gonna say like yeah, like if I have friends that would help me out, they would tag along, like I wouldn't be fighting that by myself, but at the same time, the person that I am, and maybe you guys would feel differently on this, but I feel like if I started something, then like I got to deal with the consequences, even if it means getting jumped. Like I'm not about to get other people hurt because of something I did. Get what I'm saying? Like if I started what the problem is between us two and he wants to jump me, I'm gonna try to evade. I'm not gonna sit there and just like let them jump me, but I'm not gonna necessarily call for backup either to bail me out of something that I caused.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
like
I'm
I'm.
using my friends as a get out of jail free or like a bailout,
Yeah,
and I hate when people do
I see
that.
what you're saying. Like I'm not gonna lead an army to go and
Yeah,
find the guy after it happened.
yeah.
My sister does shit. Should I say this? A family member of mine does shit like
It's
that.
too late. You already said it.
It's too late now. It's too late.
Yeah,
Already put it
they'll
out
do
there.
shit like that. Like I remember one time something like that happened. They got jumped, and they led an army back.
But
And
I
they
hate
guess what it
when
was? An army.
I hate when people do that. Like they know, okay, like they can't
Well,
come
I
and
mean,
fight
she wasn't
themselves.
wrong though. She kind of got jumped for no reason. So I'll say that. But she led an army,
Yeah.
It's too late,
and
bro.
they whooped them. They went mad extra from when I was
But it's but it's
told.
like
Stop incriminating your sister. Stop.
but it's like these people that know like maybe they can't even fight themselves, or they know like they have people in their corner that'll essentially give their lives for them. Like they'll throw away everything if they heard okay something was going on with them and they were involved. So
I
it's like
I knew a person like that who
you take advantage. Yeah.
because they had me in their corner, they thought everything was Gucci gang.
I know it is.
They thought, and I was like, like I held it down that one time, but I had to be like, hey, that's not happening again. I
Yeah.
didn't go to blows or anything. It was about to, and I was not gonna win that. I was not
Yeah,
going
it
to.
was Mike Tyson.
I,
You touched the guy. He was
bro,
Mike Tyson.
I was looking at the OG dead in his eyes, like I was putting on a brave front, but I was like, I was not winning this shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there are some people on this planet where just by making eye contact with them and looking at them, you can tell that this is a cold-blooded motherfucker, and you and him are not on the same level. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
I knew Mans and me were not equal. Like there I was, probably the prime of my life, looking this like 40-year-old man in his face, and I was like, this man's gonna beat the shit out of me. If he has to, he's gonna beat me sideways, bro. And I was like, nothing happened. He was just exchange of words, and then I looked at the guy who got me in that situation. I was like, you on your own. I'm never doing that shit for you ever again in your life.
Fucking accelerated your heart rate and shit.
Bro, I went down. I sat in a corner for the rest of the night. I was like, don't talk to me. But all right. So closing thoughts.
Wait, before we go. That same individual, EJ was there to see this. Remembers the time I told him to their face
Yeah.
that if they kept pushing it and the person they were doing this with beat the shit out of them, I wasn't gonna do anything. I
Yeah,
think
because
I would let it happen.
you could only have that I guess that privilege, I guess is the word I would say, for like having your friends come to your defense. Like you can only use that for so long until it's like, nah,
Mm.
like you're taking
Yeah, if you're not
advantage
an
of my
asshole,
kindness.
you
Yeah,
know.
like even if you were wrong, but like it wasn't like that, there's levels to how wrong someone could be, I feel like. So if it was like I could still like you were wrong, but I could, still defend that, I could still support that in some kind of way. Even if I might
Yeah,
not
like
necessarily agree with it, but it's like, you know what, it wasn't that bad, then you'll help them out. But and
yeah.
and but if it's something that they had no business doing whatsoever, and it's like,
I
you
mean, it's
know,
even that, like you
yeah.
said, there's like one of you guys, even if there were a few times that you guys did something where there was like completely no explanation, because the vast majority of the times you are normal, level-headed individuals, I
So
would
you give me the
probably
benefit
still
of the
help
doubt,
you
yeah.
a few times. Like if it became like a consistent thing, then like, okay, I think we need to have a talk about what's going on in your life
It's
that's
like,
All
making
right,
you.
all right.
but the
So
problem with that, hold
we're
on,
gonna
I just
wrap
want to
this.
interject. I want to interject for 1 second. But the problem with like giving somebody multiple chances is that it only takes one time for that could that for that time that you helped them to end badly for you. What if you end up in the ER because of it, or like you end up getting this life, you know, um, injury or something like threatening injury. Like who knows? Like there's all it takes is one time for you, or you could die, depending on what it is. So
So
it's not necessarily worth it all the
so
time.
we're gonna wrap this one up. I'll start it off this time. Fuck gangs, bro. Fuck gangs. First off, second, if 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 someone I know is a known gang member and they're gonna punk me, like I said, I have to take that out because my family's life is just way more important to me than that. Like, I don't feel like dealing with the work. Like it's gonna be so much more effort dealing with it than it is to just take that quick L. If you are in a gang and this is how you look, man, fight your own battles. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm going with that. Vanguard,
This was the last time we heard from Ray ever again.
probably.
No, but I mean, yeah, I would same. I probably wouldn't do anything because of the ultimate retaliation, and stuff. It'll just keep going and going until multiple people are dead. It's not worth it. Um, yeah, and to a level, there's also a level of respect there, just a healthy dose of fear. Like you said, you look at someone, like even without knowing who they are, depending on the person, sometimes you can just tell that a certain person has done enough and put in enough hours that you and him should not be fighting. Like it's just you and him should not fight. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yes, I
Yeah,
understand. EJ.
like you don't fight Rambo. You don't fight him. He's putting hours. You leave him alone. Um,
yeah.
and finally, yeah, I'm gonna be starting a gang soon, guys. It's a mystery solving gang.
Link
Like
will
I
be
said,
link will be in the description.
I wear the orange. No one else. If you like, don't do it. Okay, I'm the OG. You wear orange, you're dead. You're fucking dead.
You're gonna be wearing that Goku jacket.
Yeah.
All right, EJ, spit some facts.
Nah, I mean, you guys pretty much said everything I would have ended up saying, but just to add on, just know that it's not just you, that could be affected by those actions. If you got somebody you care about, a close friend, anybody else that they could get their hands on, then if they can't get you necessarily, they'll go for them. So I just wouldn't want, other people to be targeted for something that it really just involved me. It had nothing to do with them. But they don't abide by that. There isn't no moral compass, when it comes to certain gangs and how they, go about their business. So That's the same thing. Same thing as what you guys said.
So,